Hello, this is Jeff from Studio 41 Gaming, and I am very overdue with the next Smite video. But Smite's been on the back burner for me for a good while now. I've kind of gotten burned out on it, and with so many other games coming out, it's just been pretty low on the list of games I've been wanting to play a bit recently. But I've finally gotten back in it enough to make another video. And we're looking at Artemis here, the goddess of the hunt. And we're going to start off our build here with Warrior Tabby and Physical Power Movement Speed. Now we're going Bloodforge, and this item is freaking ridiculous right now. It's expensive, but it is so worth it. You get $28.50, well, price. So you get 75 physical power, 15% physical lifesteal, and then when you kill an enemy god, you get a shield that gives you 200 plus 10 per player level for 20 seconds. And then when that shield is active, you gain movement speed. Yeah, you get a lot of stuff from this. Next, we get Itch Vol, attack speed, penetration, and every successful basic attack increases your physical power by 10 and reduces your target's physical power from items by 10 for 3 seconds, and that stacks. Next, we got the Executioner. Basic attacks against an enemy reduce their physical protections by 12% for 3 seconds. You can see where we are going with this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Next we got Rage, physical power, critical strike chance, and then of course builds up your chance to crit when you don't crit. And then of course our old friend Mr. Deathbringer, physical power, critical strike chance, and then increased critical strike damage. And then of course we got our Purification Sanctuary relics. But yeah, this build is definitely built around Itch Vol and Executioner, and it goes along with Artemis' second ability, which is Vengeful Assault. But before we get there, let's talk about the passive, and that is you gain a critical strike chance buff on each successful hit. Yeah, lots of crits. But your first ability is basically it's a trap you put on the ground, and it traps people. You can have 3 of them out at a time. It's nothing too special, but it can be useful, since I think you do more damage to enemies that are trapped. Yeah, it does a little bit of damage as well. Then, like I said, Vengeful Assault. This is Artemis' best ability by far. She increases her attack speed by a ton. She gains some movement speed as well. And, oh, they actually nerfed this. It doesn't increase her critical strike chance anymore. But that's still, I think that still kind of goes with her passive now anyway. And then we have her ground attack, which is basically you shoot some arrows at some people and it slows them. And it does some damage. It's useful for hitting an enemy that's a little bit out of your range. And then her boar, her ultimate that, depending on how you use it, can be amazing or can be the most useless thing on earth. But you can send it after your first target, it charges after him, does some damage, and stuns them. And it has 6 seconds of life. It'll go around and hit other people that get close enough to it after it stuns the first person. But depending on how you use it, this thing is cool or horrible. But let's get into how to play Artemis a little bit more now. So with our build, Artemis is very, very built for middle to late game. It's basically after you get Itch Vol and Executioners when you can start teeing off on people, since that's when you get more of your attack speed. But this build does have a lot of physical power in it. And we use her buff to really get her attack speed up to really hammer people. Because with her buff, you can really focus a bit more on building power instead of attack speed, since you're going to be able to pop your attack speed buff whenever you basically want to, as long as you aren't out of mana. But Artemis, yeah, she can be very, very frustrating to play sometimes, mainly because she has really no escape except for her buff. Because of that, you can get absolutely nuked early game because you just don't have enough power to really defend yourself. So early game, you're going to want to play it pretty safe, pop some people that you know you can get a kill on and use your arrow volley to stun people, or slow them, I mean, and be able to maybe get a kill or two easy. But late game is when this Artemis build really, really gets good. By basically compounding the effects of her being able to hit people several times in a short span of time, with Ichiball and Executioner basically debuffing the crap out of enemies, you can really lay out damage in just a couple of hits very, very quickly. And because of that, Artemis can be one of the hardest people to probably beat in a 1v1 when she has like a Bloodforged shield up and is able to, you know, CC people with her boar and her ground traps. So with this, I mean, you just have to really play it safe early game. Wait until you get Ichiball and Executioner to really start going after people. And just play smart. That's really the easiest / hardest thing, though, to do with Artemis, is you just have to play smart. Don't push early. You're going to get destroyed. That's why people can sometimes hate on Artemis a bit, is because she has really no escape. So you just have to play her careful and know when to push and go after someone, and know when to sit back and try and not die. Because she can be pretty easy to kill if two people go after her. So just play smart. Wait until late game when you can really start lowering the boom, and then just take on basically anybody that has 3/4 or less health, because you're going to be able to kill them.